I'm still eating my
There we
burger.
go.
Are we live?
I don't
Okay,
know.
I think we are rolling.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
what's going on, Vinyl community? Welcome to a live stream with the youngest members of the VC. So, I'm Dylan, the record spinner, and of course, I am joined with Marican over at Marican Layman Craddock, Mike over at Retro Spin Vinyl, Emma at 8 Vinyl Low. How are you all putting up on your ends?
I'm
Tired.
Fine. Yeah.
Tired? Oh,
I'm
Rocking and
right now.
rolling.
let's see.
Mike's just
Real
eating the
just
McDonald's
address
burger.
some of the people that tuning
A cold McDonald's burger
that he
at
pulled
that.
out of the fridge.
Yeah.
He's enjoying
No
it.
problem.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
bald.
enjoying himself.
It's all
Let me
good.
see. I had to
Let's
put on a
see.
shirt for this.
Got a few comments.
Hey, everyone. Myself. Hey, myself.
Fine
How
if
are
you wanted
you?
to just go El Natural. Muggy Sensing So, how are you? And there's another comment here. Let's see if it shows. I'm new to this streaming world.
No, it's there.
My channel is
You're good.
heavily influenced by yours. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Means a lot. So, since we are here, we have 11 people total watching. Please make yourselves known. Let's see. We have another person here.
Hey.
Hey,
Let's see.
Hey.
howdy. Yeehaw.
Hello, Brandon.
Get
He
that
does
man
need a room
room
temperature
temperature
cheeseburger.
cheeseburger.
Right. It's got to be warm.
Here we go. We got to bring this up. That's right.
That's right.
Cold ass cheeseburger.
Just put in my at least.
Dylan, pull that up again.
Yes.
I gotta get people in this chat.
Wait.
Pull that cheeseburger up again. There you go.
Hold on.
There
It's
you-
coming. It's coming.
I got
There
it.
we go.
What are we doing with this now?
oh, we have more people. We have
Hey,
more
Jeff.
people here. Jeff
It's
Kempton
a
says,
Jeff.
hey.
It's Mr. Jeff. Yes, sir.
And then we have Right Between the Eyes podcast. Hello, Right Between the Eyes, Kiss podcast. Damn straight.
Yo.
Hope
Very
you're enjoying
cool.
the articles.
He
So-
must be loving the
And now
articles
we have
because you
16
wrote
people.
them.
So you know what? It's so funny because we were talking before this all started, and I was like, if we can get like 10 to 15 people, this will be a success. And I think we have successfully done it. So
Woo.
awesome. So where are the youngest members of the VC going? Last year, we went to Nashville. Where are we going this year?
I don't know. Man, are we going anywhere?
Who's going to do the honors of? We didn't plan this. Who's going to do the honors of announcing where we're going?
I
Well-
think Emma can do it.
Should
Well,
should I kick us off with where we're starting at?
Well, hold on.
Yes.
Well, hold on. Fun fact. If you watch the video Marican posted today, you may or may not know already.
That's true. I
Oh.
did mention that in the video I posted today.
Ooh.
Where you can put in a little spoiler.
So my question
Spoiler.
is, before we even tell them, did anybody actually watch her video, pay attention enough to actually know where we're going?
Mike did,
Cheeseburger
that's
Man
for sure.
has facts.
Cheeseburger Man.
He has
That's
facts.
his new nickname for the trip this year.
Cues the song
Room
Cheeseburger in
temperature
Paradise by
Burpman.
Jimmy Buffett.
I'm gonna go get you some McDonald's
James-
cheeseburgers and I'll put them in the cooler. That way they're cold for you when we when we meet up tomorrow.
James Buffet.
All right, should I do the spinaroo thing?
Oh,
Yes.
Jeff says he
Yes.
knows.
Jeff says
Oh, Jeff knows.
Yeah, Jeff knows.
I wonder where Jeff got
Oh, wait,
that info
real quick.
from.
There's another comment, and I have to bring this up.
Oh yeah.
CG Signal guy knows what's up.
Christian, yeah, he knows.
I
No,
have a
right.
feeling this is going to be the ongoing joke of this trip.
Cheeseburger
Room
Man.
temperature cheeseburgers. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yes, let's go.
Hold on. True. Yeah, she got it.
Cheeseburger Man says true.
So, if you
Cheeseburger in
guys saw
Paradise.
what Emma has held up, James Buffet.
No, Jimmy Buffett, Cheeseburger in Paradise. It's on this album.
I know, James Buffet.
Oh.
So, Emma held up the coaster. That is a spoiler. We are going to St. Louis, Missouri. So, the youngest members of the VC take St. Louis.
Riverbend.
We are super
Riverbend.
excited. Oop,
Godfrey,
Jeff Kempin-
Godfrey, Illinois.
Jeff Kempin
That's
is
Riverbend.
brewing.
We're bending some rivers.
What's that?
We're bending rivers.
There he is.
What, did
So
Jeff
yes,
get it? Jeff got it.
we are.
Yep.
So the first stop of our trip is indeed going to be Riverbend Records. What are some of the other stores that we will be hitting up in the area? I know we have more or less a rough itinerary mapped out, but what are some of the other shops that are going to be written by us and our wallets?
Off the top of my head, I'm thinking Vintage Vinyl, Euclid
Yes.
Records, Planet Score, I think it's called, right?
Right.
Planet
Okay,
Score.
rings a bell.
If anyone's from the area, leave some suggestions. But those are
Yes.
the three off the top of my head I'm thinking of. Euclid, Vintage, Planet Score, and
And
there's
then
a
I think
couple
we were
others.
going to do Brandon's store that he works at. Music
Yeah.
record shop. Is that what that's called?
Okay, Chance
like
says
mine.
excellent choice, sneaky good record shops there. Oh. I thought Sneaky's was a record store.
Mhm.
Mike, you're beautiful too.
Speaking good record shops. Good stuff. So, since we have announced where we are going, of course, this is kind of like a round table question, and I'll start with Marikan on this.
Oh shit.
What is on your
me.
radar for this trip? Like, is there anything that you're hoping to find? Something that you're longing to find? Like, what's on your current radar as for this trip?
I know right now, just because the release date was yesterday, I want to get the 2 new Elton John reissues of the one in Peachtree Road, just because I haven't, been to get them. Obviously, we're going on this huge trip, so I would like to find that. Maybe a couple Queen Grails or something. I really don't have anything specific in mind, just because I kind of feel like if I find it, I'll know. So I don't know. That's probably about it on my list, truthfully. I know I'll spend way more than that. You know me. You guys seen me last year.
As always.
Mike's going to be going
I
home
think
with
pretty much
CDs.
I'll get CDs and some
Pretty
records.
much.
Well, the thing with me is that I need to make sure that anything that I get can be brought back on the plane in my carry-on. That's my limitation.
That's valid.
Outside of financial reasons, but
What about you, Dylan? What are you looking for?
So honestly, I'm hoping to find some Kiss Grails. Right off the top of my head, I would love to find, and this is a total just random, shot. I would love to find an official pressing of Sonic Boom. It's limited to 5,000 copies, 5 different colors, 1,000 copies each. Comes with a printed inner sleeve, a poster, gatefold jacket. I have a bootleg, not bootleg, but an unofficial press of it, which is just a single sleeve. I have it just because I have it. I would love to find an official copy out there. I've never seen one in person, and it's one of those cases where whatever the price is, I will buy it. I would also love to find a copy of Kiss Symphony Alive 4. Got a one-time pressing in 2003. It was reissued in the Kissteria box, but that's an exclusive piece. So if I see it, I will get it. Anything Kiss bootlegs is fair game for me. There's a couple of unofficial pressings of official albums, things of that sort. And then, to be honest, just whatever catches my eye. I decided, Marikan, that if you end up purchasing Elton's The One, I will get a copy myself.
Oh, honey, I'm already gonna do it. If
You guys
I
have
see
to do it.
If you, come on now.
You
You
need
know
it.
me.
So that kind of
Elton
kills
John.
one stone there.
You know me and my Elton John. Come on now. I have to have it.
Brandon says Scorpion's new album's good. I've
Oh,
not
it
listened
is.
to that.
I have
It
heard good
actually
things
is.
about the new Scorpions.
It's actually me and Dylan, when he was at my house a couple weeks back, we're actually discussing this in a new Def Leppard release. The Scorpions album, I must say, I was mighty impressed because I remember like a couple years ago, back when I started really getting deep into music and I was taking guitar lessons at the beginning of that. It was around the time the Scorpions album Comeback came out. Now, the only Scorpions knowledge and experience I had to that point was the album Rockers and Ballads, which is an early compilation album of them. My mom had that CD as a kid. I now own it. And that was my experience. I later got the, what is it, Breakout or Blackout? I can't remember what it's called at the moment, but their most popular one, of course, rather than the ones with the Virgin Killer who has the expletive, like this controversial album covers of their discography. But Comeback, I listened to that album at that time, around the time it came out, and you know what? I thought it sounded worse than dog shit. But honestly, this new album came out, and I gave it a shot because I was just like, you know what? It's about time some new rock music came out. Because don't get me wrong, even though I'm not the biggest Greta Van Fleet guy, they're one of the few bands that I can really do respect because of the fact that they're one of the few rock groups of today who are trying to keep true to rock roots. Whether you agree with me or just consider them Zeppelin knockoff, that's up to you. I respect your opinion. But you know what? I was just looking for something that was classic but still sounding good and wasn't like Clockwork Angels, like Rush that sounds awful or something like that, My opinions. Keep that in mind here. But no, I was very impressed with the new Scorpions album. And what I've heard of the Def Leppard album is actually pretty all right. Def Leppard, not the best Def Leppard release, but I guess.
I thought it was pretty good. I've listened to it a couple times.
Yeah, I liked it, but I mean, it's not the greatest Def Leppard release either.
No.
But obviously,
it's never going to beat the early Def Leppard album.
Right.
Never.
Oh, no.
Nothing can top those.
Well, since I'm already jabber jawing, should I just might as well tell what I'm interested in getting in St. Louis?
Nothing.
Just about ends it. What you looking for, Mike?
I'm just literally seeing, like, you know how like in like those old school, like when someone tells a bad joke at like a comedy club, that like Shepherd's hook just comes out and grabs him by the neck. That's what I just imagined just happened to me.
But to be fair, you are like the most money conscious out of us all, and you've already said like you're definitely not going as hard as you did last year. So
I came back with about 112 pieces last year.
Whew.
I mean, you needed it.
It was needed.
You needed it.
It was needed, but it was excessive. I was just like, that's the last time I'm doing that for a good while. But anyway, so the stuff I'm interested in outside of the normal Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson, for anybody who's ever seen this face knows I'm looking for. They're two of my go-to artists to go through. I'm actually seeing Willie Nelson in August, and some of the other acts. I knew who all the acts are that I'm seeing on that tour date that I'm seeing them, but one of the acts that I've really, really been getting into of the acts that are playing on that date is an artist by the name of Charlie Crockett, who is very phenomenal. And for his 6-some-year career he's put out maybe like 10-some albums. He's put out a lot of output for the short amount of time he's been out there on the market. Now, he's not super well known, but he's a modern act who some of his stuff is comparable to Merle Haggard. If I had to say a closest act to him, in regards to old school style, you could say Willie Nelson, but Willie Nelson is in his own game in the country genre, period. So it's not really a great comparison, but matches on the playbill perfectly. So Charlie Crockett, I want to get his newest album. I'm not super interested in getting right away. I want to get everything he's ever done one day, but it's not my favorite release. Hard Times and 10 for Slim are two of the albums by him I really would like to get. Maybe I'll get one of them this trip, and then the other one hopefully will be at the concert. I don't know. But again, as I said already, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson. Brown Acid. I have 2 or 3 of those releases in my collection at the moment. I need more of them. Dylan has them all. Oh, speaking of the devil, Dylan just hooked me up with that one, but still hasn't been listening.
We were just talking about it. I was like, I got him a copy. I had to get myself one. This is probably one of the better ones that have come out recently.
Okay, I've only listened to I've listened to a handful of them on Spotify, but then I have only I think I had 3 of them. The copy you gave me, I haven't even cleaned it or listened to it yet. I was actually planning to do that today, but I had too much other things to go do before we leave tomorrow. But maybe Maybe Dylan on the drive to the airport tomorrow. Maybe we'll Spotify it. I don't know. But anyway.
Hell yeah.
So some brown acid stuff. And also something I've really been interested in recently. Anybody who knows anything about any sort of pop culture, anything of nature, knows that Kate Bush and Metallica are very popular right now from a little known show called Stranger Things. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it or not.
Never heard of it.
But this is a show that I never really was exposed much to. I mean, I've heard bits and pieces of the soundtrack, looked at track listings, looked at who composed the score and listened to bits and pieces over the years because the show debuted in 2016, I believe. And I've always been intrigued, but I've never really done anything for it. And also, I don't really have much in the way of streaming services, so I didn't have access to it. Well, one of my friends is just like, you need to see it. So me and them have been watching it on their service and all that at their place. I'm at season 2. I've seen through season 2, episode 1. I'm stopped at season 2, episode 2. I'm working my way through. Phenomenal so far. Very excited. And you know what? I would love to get the soundtrack and score for Stranger Things all seasons. Granted, I've only experienced firsthand in the show the first volume, which the first release goes through what's on season 1 and 2. Then volume 3 is season 3, and then volume 4 is obviously season 4. But they have separate releases for the soundtrack and the score. And for those who may not know the difference, because I know everybody doesn't know that, the score is the instrumental music that's in there, like the synthesizers and stuff like that. And then the soundtrack is what you'd expect with like a movie like Rocky IV or The Breakfast Club, Don't You Forget About Me type songs. So in this case, Psycho Killer by the Talking Heads is in there. Barbara O'Reilly's in one of the seasons. Africa by Toto. Girls on Film, Duran Duran. I could go on, but you get
they have a good soundtrack.
They do.
It really does. Solid. So
Mike says, I'm not going to get a lot, and then names off like
a million things. But honestly, though, like, I've been looking for the score and the soundtrack for the first 2 seasons, too, because they're significantly harder to find because they come out a long time ago. And, like, you know, like you said, Kate Bush has become more rampant. Everybody's loving Kate Bush and Metallica right now.
Oh, yeah.
So...
I am Metallica Master of Puppets on a daily basis at this point.
Please don't. I will cry. If you play Master of Puppets, you will see me shed literal tears. I'm still not over that scene. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but just don't. Just don't.
Please don't, because I haven't gotten that far yet.
Right, exactly. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I can't with Master of Puppets.
Because I've seen photos, and screenshots, and like I follow various pop culture stuff on social media, so I see the stuff. Like photos, but not much in the way of spoilers. Thankfully, like I now know that 11 has like actual hair now and all this stuff. Like, so it's interesting. But some of that stuff, I feel like it'd be a sin if I didn't get something like Heaven Tonight that I'm missing on vinyl in my collection without Emma. I have it on CD, but I don't have it on vinyl. I know. I saw it.
Just going to be buying Cheap Trick everywhere we go. That's it. Nothing else.
But to be fair, Emma
literally everywhere. I don't care if I have 10 copies. It's fine.
It's like you're talking about Budokan Yellow the other day, but
everything. It's fair game.
Yeah.
All right, go into the comments.
Pulls every copy of it.
Unnamed St. Louis shop, music record shop, or Dead Wax Records. We're a few comments back, but I have no idea.
Here, I'll bring this up. I got it on my end. Let's see. Let's bring this up on is the unnamed St. Louis shop music record shop that was thrown around. I know for a fact that the planning stages, the music record shop.
Maybe we'll stop.
There was that. What?
Hope to see you guys in Massachusetts at some point.
That's when members of the VC take Boston.
Yes.
Which would be fitting.
Boston.
Which would be fitting because that is my alma mater. Because I did graduate from Berkeley.
Maybe we'll pull it. Maybe we'll pull it from our thing.
I've been to Boston before. I went in 8th grade. Nice place.
I prefer things that aren't strange. Then I don't know why you're watching this podcast or this whatever this is live stream. I don't know.
I got to showcase CGC. Own an original copy of Kiss Sonic Boom. We'll part with it though. Sorry. Good luck. Come on, dude. Just straight flexing in this chat. Enjoy it.
I have this, but it's mine.
He's just like so his girlfriend's name. If I don't know if CG. Oh yeah, Vinyl Guy. So it is a dude. If his girlfriend must be named Delilah. Modern day Delilah.
Wait,
come on.
Oh, duh.
The album opener.
I'm aware of that, but you pull these little jokes out of nowhere, and I have to process them. Real quick,
Cheeseburger Man's brain moves way too fast.
All right, let's see what Emma wants rather than Cheap Trick.
Rather than Cheap Trick? I got nothing then. No. So what am I looking for? I'm kind of in the same boat with you guys where I don't really know until I'm there. When I see it, I know like that's a record that I wanted or that's something that I want to fill out in the collection. I know that I've talked to you guys a little bit about it, but I do want to fill in like, you know, bands like The Who or Zeppelin or Rolling Stones, just albums that I've put off getting for, you know, whether there's an abundance of them or whatever it is. I do want to start to fill those in a little bit just because it's getting to the point where I want to listen to one of those albums and then I don't have it. So that's a big one. Yeah, anything Cheap Trick, if it's a variant, even if it's something that I have and it's a good price, I'll probably get it. It's fine.
Fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It just feels good.
Fine.
It's good. And then, but the big thing that I'm looking for, which I'd be surprised. I mean, you never say never, but I'd really like to find in the wild Bob Mould's workbook. Okay. I really would like to see that in the wild, just because I haven't seen it in the wild before. So that's something that I've been hunting for a while. That would be a kind of a highlight of the trip for me. But
okay. You got some good stuff in recently. I mean, I don't know who watched. I mean, you got some good stuff in Emma recently, though. I don't know who's seen her video or not. If you haven't, watch it. But
from Jim?
Oh yeah.
Oh, unbelievable.
I expect to be exposed to some of that tomorrow evening.
Oh, 100%. I got a pile right here. Actually, we'll do some Stevie tomorrow. We'll do some Stevie tomorrow. Of course, we'll do Cheap Trick, but we'll do some Stevie tomorrow.
Well, that live album you got, like Live Alive.
Yeah.
I have that on cassette, but the problem is when I bought the cassette record and CD collection I bought, that cassette's warped, so I couldn't even listen to it.
Oh,
that's
bummer.
You
can listen to it here.
Yes. I don't have any Stevie on vinyl. I have one cassette.
Ooh, question for Marican.
Ooh,
we're gonna bring this up on screen.
Queen Grails. The biggest one right now is the original master recording of A Night at the Opera. I just bought A Day at the Races in the game like earlier this year. I want to say in like March or so. And they sound absolutely fantastic. So I would like to get those. Other than that, like maybe a couple bootlegs if I see them, because some of their bootlegs are kind of fun to have. But nothing like super, super huge. You guys got me the rainbow box set last year, which was like made me like shit my pants. I mean, come on, I was speechless.
That's a grail right there.
That was my biggest grail because that's one of my favorite live performances. And then these guys were like, I'm gonna get her the 4LP for her birthday and send it to her and make her absolutely die. And that's exactly what they did. But it sounds great. So
I mean, literally, like, I'm the one who actually placed the order and shipped it, and then everybody just paid me their due part. But literally, I pulled out a couple of those records of that set, and I'm just like, not only was this a good price, but this is just about as clean as a fresh baby's ass.
Yeah.
So I like
sounds beautiful.
Literally. Literally, Marican went
fresh as a baby's bottom.
Literally, literally, you guys missed me. You haven't heard me talk like this in a while. But anyway,
missed you, Mike,
or my antics, I should say. But like literally, like when Marican saw that package, I think I saved that video she sent. Mike, what?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? What the heck? What? Why? What is in this? I was so like, and you did that to me at Christmas too with the Joni Mitchell box set. I was like, what the hell did you put in here? Why are you doing this? You make me feel so bad. Like, I hated it because it was like eating me alive. Yes, that Joni box set. It's so beautiful.
But that Joni box I did all on my own though.
You did, yeah, but I love it. It's beautiful. But yeah, other than that, maybe like if I find some Japanese pressings or some singles, I don't have a ton of Queen singles just because I don't collect a lot of singles. So if I see a Queen single like out in the wild, I'll pick it up. But yeah, for the most part, my Queen collection's pretty well rounded, other than just like a few odd and end pieces.
Hey, Dylan, put on the comment from Monkey Sensing Sensei, the most recent comment he put in. That would be a great reissue to see happen.
Right.
Under Lock and Key, I mean, I have it on CD, but like, that would be phenomenal.
Under Lock and Key. Could be possible. I think Friday Music has had a hand in doing some of the Dokken reissues, so you never know.
That would be a good one.
I was going to say, speaking of, I don't know what we're going to say.
I was going to say, I don't remember the name off the top of my head of that really rockin' instrumental piece near the beginning of the album. It's just a complete instrumental piece. Marikan, you may or may not know off the top of my head, off the top of your head, excuse me. But that on that album
right now,
that makes the album. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, the thing from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, and all that was added as a bonus track on it and all that, great and all that. But you know what? That instrumental piece, whoo!
My mind is absolute garbage right now. Like, I've been up since 2:30, so if I forget, like, I literally have nothing in my brain. So don't at me if I forget something.
I'm not judging you.
This is just.
I slept funky myself, but I'm hanging in there by a thread.
I mean, I was just like really excited because, you know, tomorrow we're obviously getting together and seeing everybody again. And then like we had a really bad storm come through and it just like was not letting up. So I wasn't going back to sleep at all. So I'm like halfway here.
I got to bring this comment here from Dusty
I like that
Spins.
one. That's a good one.
See a new stream pop up.
I like that
perspectives
comment.
Were majorly needed. Damn straight.
100% agree with you on that.
100%.
Oh boy, I like this
And
Monkey
then,
Sensei guy. Like, this guy knows what he's talking about. Pull me under.
Yeah, this guy is hitting all the bullet points quite well.
Right.
How it goes to the song. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was a time in my life where I couldn't. That's like the one Dream Theater at one point in my life I couldn't listen to, but I can now again, and I'm loving it.
It's the hit.
Yeah, I know. There's a reason why that album, their greatest hits, is Greatest Hit and Other Good Songs or whatever it's called. But also,
and 21 other pretty cool songs. Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But Dylan, fun fact, I only own Images and Words on cassette. I don't have that on CD. That's one of two studio albums by Dream Theater that I do not have on CD. Can you remember what the other one is?
Well, it looks like you're going to be finding a copy this week.
I am literally writing it down. But Dylan,
he wasn't going to get anything, you guys. He wasn't going to buy anything.
Dylan, now he has like 50 things on his list.
And now Stranger Things artists, whatnot.
No, the soundtrack. I'm not buying each individual artist's album. But anyway, some of them I already have. But Images and Words is the one I don't have on CD. What is the other missing studio album by them that I don't have? Which is a fan favorite of both you and mine, Dylan. One of our favorites.
Oh,
that you lost your mind when you finally found it. You finally found it on vinyl and you lost your mind.
Wait, I finally found it on vinyl?
Yeah, the box set.
Black Clouds. Silver Linings.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking love that record so much. Nostalgia.
Dude.
You need that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That I always feel bad for the closing track, Count of Tuscany, though, because literally, like, I love that song. I listen to it all the time.
Hey, it's Lisa. Hey, Lisa.
I always
Ruby Lisa.
Howdy, Lisa. But literally, I'm always at such a funk after why am I drawing a blank as the name of the song? The Best of Times.
Count of Tuscany?
No, Best of Times.
Best of
Times.
Times.
I'm such in the mind, like, I'm so emotional after that song that I always just like pause the album and never end up playing it again the rest of the drive home, and I just stop listening to music.
That is valid. That is valid.
Like,
that song does hit the heartstrings.
Dude, literally, if anybody ever told me that a metal song would bring me to tears, I would have laughed in their face. for the longest time. And then that. And that's not even the only thing. I mean, I will never forget this one time when I listened to the Dream Theater self-titled 2013 release for the first time in its entirety, and I listened to Illumination Theory and actually paid attention to the lyrics. I was in college still when I did listen to this. I mean, I got into Dream Theater around 2017-ish, so I'm behind. But literally, that album, I just finished my German class and I was waiting for my next class to go on. And literally, you for those who are aware of it, which I assume that Monkey Sensing Sensei will know because he's talking about Octavarium as well. Literally, you finish the orchestral section, which, fun fact, you hear orchestral stuff in a lot of their albums, but that's the only album that they hired an actual orchestra to record those parts. And it's not just Jordan Rudess, at least 1999 forward, doing synthesized bits. But literally, the lyric that really hit, to really feel the joys in life, you must suffer through the pain. I was literally sitting outside of a dorm building, and that lyric came on, and I just stood up and power walked aimlessly around campus until I got to my truck. To the end of the thing. It's a moment that probably doesn't mean a damn thing to anybody but me. But man, was that powerful, and I will never forget it. It was so good. And Octavarium is in my top 3 to 5 Dream Theater albums. So great stuff. But I'll let someone else talk because I've been rambling on here. I'm very passionate.
I missed your long rambles, Mike.
If you can't,
you have good rambles, Mike.
I'm going to change the title to "Where are the youngest members of the VC going?" / Retrospin Vinyl Dream Theater College Level Dissertation.
Goes on for an hour and a half.
Okay, Brandon Wayne
that's
Lewis says Bob Marley 75th anniversary exclusive limited edition gold vinyl.
Is that a specific release of Bob Marley's, or is that the entire discography?
This is the real question of the day.
Let us know. So we are in the know. I was going to say real quick, just because we were talking about Stranger Things. I don't know if I had told you guys this. I guess, you know what, it's worth pointing out now because it's such a trending thing. Dustin's character, the guy that plays him, was Gaten Mazzarato.
Gaten. Yes, I love Gaten.
He's been in my shop before.
And you didn't get a picture, and I was so mad. I remember sitting like, "What the hell? You didn't get a picture with him?" I would have
because we had no clue it was him, and then we realized it. My worker Patrick and I, we were like, "Wait a sec, that's the kid from Stranger Things," and he's a native of
New Jersey.
of the South Jersey area. It's funny. Someone posted a friend of mine posted a picture on Facebook. He went to some Green Day show in Camden, which is just right before you get to Philadelphia. So he gets and his grandparents own a pizzeria in Egg Harbor, which is near where I work at. So it's So that was the talk of
New Jersey. And then whenever you said he was in your store, and I was like, "Where's the picture? What the hell? Why did you not get a picture with him?" Because that would just be cool. But
he paid with card and he had to sign a slip, so we have his autograph.
Oh, paid with card.
Pin that to the wall.
Ooh, I like this question.
Tips for getting your name out there as a vinyl YouTuber. What do you guys think on this? I feel like this could go in a number of different directions.
So if you guys don't mind, I'll go first real quick. And this might sound extremely cliche, but I found that I'm drawn towards people that do this, and this is what it is. Be fully authentic.
Right.
Again, sounds cliche, but be authentic. If you're not coming through authentically, if you're coming through as, fake or whatever, people can see that. Just be yourself. Don't overthink things. Just do what you want to do. Talk about what you want to talk about. Do it because it's fun. If it's not fun, don't do it.
Yeah.
So that'd be my best advice. But do it because you like it and you like the music you're talking about and it's fun for you.
That's a very big one. Another thing that you could do really is I don't know if this is a thing nowadays. I know back when I first started YouTube, when I did both my vinyl stuff and my personal stuff in regards to music performances and all that, I know that there was a thing called tagging in your videos in regards to certain topics that if someone, kind of like keywords, kind of like search engine optimization, so to speak, stuff in there. You can type in various words in there to do it, but also just honestly get involved in the community, because if you start commenting and talking to other people and you're like, oh, I like Billy Joel's Nylon Curtain too. That's a great album. What do you think about XYZ? I don't know. I'm pulling something out of the air, right? So then that's going to prompt that person to not only respond to you, at least recognize who you are, and maybe connect with you on social media, whether it be if you have a special vinyl page on Instagram, subscribe to you on YouTube, watch your content. I know that when I first started watching channels. I was watching people like Too Many Records, Vinylize, Channel 33 RPM. Honestly, I had just started really getting into the vinyl community when I posting for myself when I discovered Emma. And literally, you just start watching, subscribing, interacting, and people will come. If they like what you're putting out, and if you're authentic, as you say, not everybody's going to like what you like. You're going to get shit for things. People are going to shit on you. People are going to praise you. There's going to be a great in between. At the moment, I have all my YouTube videos on Retrospin Vinyl private. That's for no other reason rather than I got sick of the nonsense in the vinyl community for various things that I'm not going to get into at the moment. It's past. It's gone. We don't have to worry about it anymore. Exactly, Dusty Spins. Stay away from the drama, and that's the reason why I privated all my videos. For no other reason. And that's what discouraged me from posting, because I don't want to deal with nonsense. It had nothing to do with anything else but that. But stay true to you. One of the videos that, and I will eventually republicize all my videos. I don't know what kind of content I may or may not create in the future, but that's to be determined. But I will eventually republicize my videos. But something that I always enjoyed doing, that I was really hesitant to put on there because it's a topic that could be divisive, even though it's not intended to be, is one of my favorite bands that I've discovered and really started getting into within the past year is a band called Casting Crowns. Now, for those who don't know who Casting Crowns is, that's a Christian rock band. Now, I'm not going to push my religious beliefs on people. I don't care what you believe in. You shouldn't care what I believe in. If you're a decent person and you have facts behind your reasoning behind why you live your life, go for it. If you're bullshitting, then there's a problem. But that's neither here nor there. So I did a ranking video of all their albums. This was the end of December, beginning of January. I posted this the week before their new album in January release called Healer. It was really more of an EP than an album, but anyway. I'd ranked all their albums, studio albums, up to that point. When I posted it, that was me. That was authentic to me because it's a band that I enjoy and I like. Did it concern me to put that on? Because no one talks about secular music really in the vinyl community, whether it be classical, secular, contemporary, or anything in between? No. It made me an outsider. It made me unique. It made me different. But I did it because I enjoyed it, and I got very interesting feedback back. A lot of people actually liked Casting Crowns that were in the vinyl community, and I didn't know it. Probably for similar reasons, because they don't want to unintentionally push their religion on people, which obviously I was very neutral on. I just spoke about the music and what it meant to me, what this and the other thing, why I like this, why I didn't like this. And this was a simple ranking video. It was no different than the vinyl record ranking video I did of the Led Zeppelin discography with Sunny over Put the Record On. She doesn't have a YouTube channel, but she's very active in the Instagram vinyl community. But honestly, this is a long-winded response, but do what makes you happy. If people are on board with what you like, even if they are on board with you and don't necessarily like what you're doing, if they like you as a person, they'll support you whether they like it or not. Because I know people who I'm friends with who are very supportive of me in my enjoyment of the Casting Crowns. I won't subject them to the music and all that, but they watched the video and were like, Mike, that's a great video. And I know, because I've talked to them outside of YouTube, I know that they're not religious. I don't care if they're religious, just as much as they don't care that I am.
Right.
So, go ahead, Marie.
But just do you.
Be authentic. Stay away from drama.
And don't
have fun.
And don't let things discourage you, because there'll be assholes out there.
Yeah, there's always going to be
a ton of them. Yeah.
Tell them to fuck themselves.
And like to even like further what like Mike and Emma are saying about, commenting on people's videos and, just being true to yourself.
Hey, it's
You
Thomas.
comment and respond to people. And when you make these videos and people respond to you in the comment section, like just make friends, make your little section here on YouTube, because I have found, I have many friends in the community, but I found that some of my closest are these 3 lovely people right here. Melinda Murphy, I am super blessed to call her a friend as well. But, just find your little pocket of people. And, I learned that it's not about how many views you get or how many people watch, your channel or subscribe or anything like that. It's about who they are, like who watches you. Are they good to you? Are they nice to you? Are they friendly? I would rather have 3 friends watch my videos than 1,000 people who are just gonna crap on me for what I like. And there are always going to be those people that, give you a thumbs down or say that a certain album sucks and you like it. And you just kind of have to grow thick skin and ignore that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Because, I mean, me and Dylan have discussed this, but this is a very prime example of something that me and Dylan personally disagree with, but we respect each other's opinions and don't like. When it comes to Pink Floyd's discography, I think that the final cut is better than Momentary Lapse of Reason. We're not going to have this whole discussion about this now. There's no reason or time or reason for that at this moment. One day, me and Dylan will have a video debating this topic. But I personally like Final Cut better than Momentary Lapse of Reason. Both of them are fantastic. Would I say that if it didn't have the Pink Floyd name, Momentary Lapse would be better? Sure. If that was David Gilmour solo? Sure. You're hearing some of my arguments already. But literally, people are going to agree with you or disagree with you.
Save it for the video, Mike.
You cannot. Exactly. I'm going to save it for the video. But people are going to agree with you or disagree with you. But Dylan and I are still best buds regardless of our opinions on that. You know what I mean? And honestly, you can't please everybody. Realize that. That's something that's very difficult to realize as someone who has tried to experience.
Dylan, keep that up real quick.
Something that's very hard for me is to not experience and expose myself to all music because I want to know what everybody's talking about and I want to know what's going on. I've learned that you can't know everything and you can't make everybody happy.
Right.
You can learn based on recommendation, which these fine fellows here have done it. I knew who Cheap Trick was, but I didn't have as much of a deep appreciation until I met Emma. I never heard of who Blackstone Cherry was until Marican came into my life. And I mean, I always loved Queen, but I became a bigger Queen fan because of her. Dylan, I mean, the list goes on and on with Dylan. We got Genesis, Jethro Tull. The artists I've known, but just grew a deeper appreciation through Dylan, which, by the way, I still need to throw away my copy of Aqualung, the original pressing that I have, because Dylan's UHQR sounds better, but that's neither here nor there. But,
he's going to steal that from you, Dylan. Watch out.
Literally
default.
I mean, this group chat has seen my authentic reaction because Dylan recorded that reaction, but
yeah.
Man was having a crisis right then and there.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was going to be able to stand up out of that chair, but and Thomas, what I've heard of the new Journey album, I've enjoyed.
Yeah, there's a new Journey too.
But I haven't listened to much of it yet.
Right. That's coming out.
I can't remember. I know Steve Perry wasn't in the band for a while because of vocal issues. Is he on this release or not? I'm not sure.
While we're waiting on that reply, has anyone listened to, at least new to this year, the Neil Young Toast? And if you've listened in the comments, go ahead and share it. It's really good.
How does it compare to Barn? Because I really enjoyed Barn, but I haven't really heard much of this new album. I've heard those.
Oh yeah, Toast, Neil Young, and Crazy Heart. It's good. I can't remember. I think it was recorded in the early 2000s or something, from what I've been reading up on it. And it was one of those things where I think it was just the content and the lyrics or whatever it was, for whatever reason, it wasn't released, but it's released now and it's pretty good. Robert says, I'm 50 years old and I love all your challenge. Your knowledge and enthusiasm blows me away. Thank you, Robert.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Steve Perry's not on the new Journey album.
That's kind of what I thought, but I just couldn't remember.
Yeah.
But to be fair, for those who might not know, the first 3 Journey albums Steve Perry didn't exist either.
Right.
Journey was a prog band before the first Steve Perry Journey album. So what Emma did? Emma's going somewhere. Emma's refilling her drink.
Emma went bye-bye.
Maybe Xander's
I was going to
got
say real
something.
quick, just to add with what to add with what you guys were saying, in terms of like how to get your name out there, in terms of, you know, in the vinyl community. I think being genuine, it's kind of a culmination of what everyone has said. It's a matter of being yourself, and also just being able to network, you know, with other people, in terms of like, you know, if one person showcases one band, you comment, and then you build up just this great rapport.
Right.
But also I think you can ultimately, like, you can have an aim and you can really use that to your advantage when it comes to your favorite bands. Like, for example, if, you know, for anyone that's watching this that follows me, Kiss is my favorite band. And I make it a point every month to do one Kiss upload because I want to be known as that. And I want people to be, you know, to tune in. I mean, not just vinyl people, but Kiss fans as well. But also the vinyl community, as time has gone on, I realized this. The community is what you make it out to be, and that is by who you decide to associate yourself with. For myself, I have these guys here, and also I feel bad for, you know, completely missing out on this. We are missing someone tonight, and that is Jenna over at Spins and Needles. She's had some work commitments, so there was a slight chance that she might pop in, but nonetheless, that is who is missing. So I associate myself with, you know, these people here, as well as, you know, as Jenna. And that's, you know, apart from, you know, a few others here and there, that's mainly it. And it's great to have your own personal community be that, because if you start attracting the outside influences, you know, it can turn people off from the vinyl community as a whole, which I think is sad, because it's a great community to be a part in, as long as, you know, as long as you do it right. Not saying that there's a golden book, but as long as you're with the right people and you build up these great connections, then it's the best escape.
Yeah, just be kind.
Right.
And that's just, I mean, you know, in the world, but just be kind.
So I have this is an interesting comment. Dylan, pull up that comment from Paula, the Angel of Music, the most recent one. Is it popping up? No, it's not up. It? No.
Wait, try it again.
There you go.
Here we go. This is something that's interesting. I would like to actually hear more about this, because I never heard this before. Journey being a spinoff of Santana. I mean, compared to their early three albums, I could kind of see it a little bit, but I'm not really. I'm not disregarding that. I'm not saying it's not a thing, but I've just never heard that. So that's gonna. I want to hear more about that. If you could share more, if you know more, or if you know of a resource that I could look at.
I can see how that sends just down to the Neil Sean association.
Yeah.
For the most part. I mean, Journey and Santana are both bands that I'm not huge on. I enjoy, but I'm not like big on. So I don't really know too much of the backstory and history in terms of personnel, but just Neil, obviously, I know was in Santana. That's how we got his start. Went on to do Journey. The rest is history.
Dylan, if there are 3 Santana albums you need to hear in your life, not necessarily own in your collection. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But I must say, there are 3 Santana albums you need to hear. Their debut, Supernatural, and the most recent album, Blessings and Miracles. People might be shocked by the Blessings and Miracles one, and I didn't say Abraxas, but honestly, Abraxas, most people know everything that's on Abraxas, even if you're not a fan. So, but their debut, Supernatural, and Blessings and Miracles. And Blessings and Miracles was one of the best albums that came out last year, hands down, in my opinion.
Now Supernatural, that had the Rob Thomas collaboration.
Smooth, yeah, it was smooth.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, when I was a kid, like, that was my jam when I was young. So movie footage of me bopping around to that song.
All right,
especially that little Latin drum break right in the middle. I lost my shit.
Yeah.
Woo. All right, we got some new comments. First one that goes down from Journey. I was finally able to get a hold of Clockwork Angels. I've been waiting years to get a copy. I hope you didn't hear Mike's comment about that a little earlier.
Yeah.
Today.
Hey, my comments are relevant.
That is a That is that's a hard record to come by on vinyl.
It is.
It's funny. I got mine long ago while it was still available, and then when it just disappeared, it was going for hundreds. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
I feel like
We love music, adore it, but it's okay to have a life outside of all this too. Balance is good, 100%. I've been pretty absent this year in 2022 on my channel, and that's solely just because like the last semester, I'm a teacher. If you guys have watched my channel before, but the last semester it was just busy. And so I kind of just took a break from my channel for a while, but it's good to have a little bit of time to do more this summer. But 100% balance is good. As I always say, if it's not fun anymore, don't do it. And when you're ready to do it or want to do it, then do it.
Right. And to go back on Clockwork Angels real quickly, I feel like that's an album I would appreciate more nowadays than back when it came out. Just saying.
Yeah. Christian asked you this one. This is the album that I still, to this day, I've had this for a couple years now. This was a legendary Jim Grail VCLT. This is the one that is 100%. I still can't believe I'm holding it. 2009, Cheap Trick's the latest. Went out of print years and years and years ago. And it's just one of those hard albums to come by. You know, if you come across it, even if it's on sale, at least the last time I looked, maybe about a year or two ago, it's averaging, you know, $350, $400. So I don't know what it would go for now, but this one is still the king. Great album.
That's solid.
Oh, yeah.
A couple comments down, Thomas says he agrees with my Santana album picks. He would also add Santana 3 and Borboleta. Santana 3 would actually be very fitting for Dylan because I kind of, the first time I heard that album, and that's one of the few Santana albums I do have on vinyl and in my physical media collection. Actually, I got some King Crimson-esque vibes with that every so often. So I feel like that would be one that would tickle Dylan's fancy. However, that is not okay. I was kind of more doing a generic thing for everybody, but Santana 3 would be a good choice for Dylan, without a doubt. And Barboletta, I've actually never listened to. So that's one I need to hear. But yeah, Dylan would like Santana 3.
That's on my to-do list. Do you think you need to live the blues before you play them?
No. Simple answer, no.
I think this question is suitable for Emma because Emma is the blues nut here.
Do you think you need to live the blues before you play them? I don't know if you need to live the blues before you play them, but you can relate to it more if you live the blues.
Or it gives you some ammunition.
Yeah, it's... I don't know how to explain it. I wish there was a word to explain when I listen to the blues, like personally, how I feel. And it's not that, I don't know what, you know. I wish there was a word, and there might be. I don't know how to explain it. I just get into a zone every time I play the blues. So
honestly, me too.
Yeah,
I don't have a lot. I don't have anything.
I think it could be. It can be a relatable thing. Like one of my favorite blues renditions. It's a Sunhouse composition. Death Letter. White Stripes immortalized it on their Distill album. There's those lines towards like the middle end. It's like, it's so hard to love someone who doesn't love you. Don't give satisfaction. Don't care what you do. Fucking stings to the heart.
Yeah, and there's so much that's relatable. So much that's relatable.
Yeah.
I honestly am still kind of salty that I didn't get Electric Mud last year.
I need to still get that. Paulina, the Angel of Music. Not sure if you know them, but I would recommend digging into the discography of Roxy Music. I picked up their first album last month.
I'm slacking.
And I really, honestly, like the first album, I honestly just picked it up mainly because of the Eno connection, because I love Brian Eno. He's collaborated with many musicians that I love. It's an album that I had to listen to a couple times to wrap my head around, but I can work my way around hands down with time. Let's see. Monkey Sensei.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You guys every time. Hell yeah. That build up towards the end.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And going back to Roxy Music for a moment, I don't have much experience of them myself. I have their greatest hits on vinyl record from my uncle's collection. My parents, I don't know if it was my dad's or my mom's, had Avalon. I haven't actually listened to Avalon yet. it's just one. I haven't listened to every CD in my parents' collection yet. Shocker, I know for everybody. But the Greatest Hits is very good, and I would love to explore more. I can't remember. I mean, Avalon and Roxy Music. I know the names of those two. I don't know what the name of that picture with the woman holding up. They're the two ladies in the weeds, just holding their chests, not exposed. I don't remember the name of that one. That's an album I've heard some of the. Well, I have the Greatest Hits, so I know the songs that are on that album that I've heard from that are on that album that I've enjoyed. I just haven't delved deep into them. I can't speak for anyone else. I know Dylan. I know that you just got one yourself, but what about Marican and Emma?
Country Life. Paulina commented, Country Life is the album name.
Country Life. Yes. Okay.
That's the one.
Thomas makes a really good point here. Do you mean play as in listening to records, or do you mean play as in playing an instrument? You must live the blues in order to replicate the feeling on an instrument. Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
True.
You cannot fake that feel when it comes to the blues.
Hell no.
Yeah. Stevie Ray Vaughan CDs. I got new Stevie Ray Vaughan albums.
I have one Stevie Ray Vaughan CD, and it's his Greatest Hits. It's Double Trouble. My grandfather had it. And I have a couple of his albums on cassette. That's it. I need more Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'm sure Emma would gladly.
Heck yeah, you do, Mike.
I'm sure Emma would gladly fix that. I would love to have In Step on vinyl or CD. In Step.
So good.
Emma, I know you just recently got it. You don't have to rub it in my face, but
She's gonna show you now. She's gonna rub it in a little bit.
She's gonna rub it in my face.
Fine, I will rub it in your face.
No, you totally should.
Marican, I'm gonna beat you tomorrow. No, I'm totally kidding.
I'm gonna hug you.
I'm gonna hug you.
You can't kill me if I'm giving you a hug.
True. Oh, Stevie Ray Vaughan or Jimi Hendrix?
Do you want my answer?
Well, I already know your answer.
Do you?
Maybe not, because you're a big fan of both.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Stevie Ray Vaughan or Jimi Hendrix? Go.
Silence.
I personally have not delved too deep into Stevie Ray Vaughan's discography, so I feel like my answer would be a little biased. If I was to say Jimmy.
It's hard.
It depends on which aspect we're talking about, because it's kind of like comparing all the Beatles discographies. I mean, anybody who knows me knows that John Lennon's discography is probably my least favorite of the solo Beatles works. Again, my personal opinion, it's unpopular. I get it. I'm being me. Comes back to that authenticity we were talking about before. Even though I gain more and more respect for it as we get by. But no one could argue that John Lennon, with the little time he had, did such great things. Same with Jimi Hendrix. It's almost like comparing apples to oranges if we compare Paul McCartney's solo career to John Lennon's and Stevie Ray Vaughan's to Jimi Hendrix. It's because one had more of an opportunity than the other. But what's impressive about both Jimi Hendrix and John Lennon is the impact they had in such little time. One could say the same thing about Jim Morrison and Janis Joplin as well. John Bonham,
Kurt Cobain.
Literally Kurt Cobain. My
Chad
personal
Dallas.
Chad
Dallas.
I want to show you. I want to show you so bad.
But
Should we do a reveal for this live stream?
Hold on. Yes, but hold on. But for me personally,
Mike's giving a dissertation.
But if I had to choose between the two, I would have to go Jimi Hendrix.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going with Hendrix. I love Stevie Ray Vaughan more than anybody else in my life when it comes to blue guitarists. But just in terms, I agree with whatever comment that was that I read, that as a blues guitarist, 100% Stevie. But just in terms of music and the influence in music, I mean, it's Jimmy, because Stevie took influence from Jimmy's playing. So
versatility.
Marican's quiet.
I know. I'm like half asleep from being up so late.
The 2 a.m.
And everyone is just talking, and it's like, wow, that's so fast.
I feel great. I'm just getting started. I feel great.
Emma, you still need to catch up to me though.
Huh?
You need to catch up to me, though.
Yeah, you need another.
Yeah, I'm a little bit behind, but I'll catch up. And I'm feeling great though. I could do that now. I understand the live stream. I don't know if I could do it every day or even once a month. But this is fun.
24/7.
This is fun popping on here. I would definitely pick Stevie Ray Vaughan over Jimi. I'm sorry, but I think Jimi is way overrated.
Ooh.
Fair enough.
But I kind of agree with Thomas on that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Honestly, I've heard you're not the first person I've heard say that Jimi Hendrix is overrated.
Yeah.
But let me ask you
a lot of people say that.
But let me ask you this, Thomas. What's your reasoning behind that? Because I'm very curious to know your reasoning. Because technicality,
I have to say, like in
technicality skills, Stevie Ray Vaughan knocks Jimi out of the park.
Oh yeah.
But if we're talking about actual skills on the music instead of influence, Stevie Ray Vaughan. But personal preference again. But
I have to say, like, in terms of like when it comes to that word overrated, I feel like it just takes me to wrap my head around an artist's artistry to really understand, because for the longest time I would go on record saying that Led Zeppelin is overrated. This was like my freshman, sophomore year. My senior year of high school, that was when they started to do the remasters. And to me, that I was like, perfect. That's a perfect opportunity for me to dig into it. I finally got it.
Yeah.
Finally.
I mean, that was like me. That was like me with Band on the Run, the album, and Pet Sounds, the albums. It took me forever and years of trying, and I finally got it. It's a great feeling.
That
Pet
warms
Sounds
my
and...
heart, Mark, on Pet Sounds.
Oh yeah, I know. You cried for me. But Dylan, let me ask you
Pet
this.
Sounds in general.
Jimi could do Stevie, but Stevie couldn't do Jimi. I 100% disagree.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Very true. But Dylan, going back to Zeppelin for a minute, let me ask you this. Led Zeppelin's debut album is one of the best debut albums of all time. However, when you rank it up to compared to other albums in Led Zeppelin's discography, speaking of overrated, would you consider the debut relative to the rest of their discography overrated?
Ooh.
Who are we talking about?
You're
Zeppelin?
making me think.
Zeppelin's debut album. So let me repeat it.
Are you asking me if?
Let me repeat it again for Emma's sake and anybody who might have missed it.
Yeah.
So speaking of overrated, and we're talking about Zeppelin again because people have claimed Zeppelin is overrated, and again have the right to their opinions. Even though I feel like everybody in this chat, except for maybe Marican, might disagree. I think Marican's kind of indifferent, but most people consider Led Zeppelin's debut album, which, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 songs, is a predominantly blues cover album. Many consider Zeppelin's debut album to be one of the best debut albums of all time. And I will not disagree. I agree with that statement. But my question is, compared to the rest of Led Zeppelin's discography, would you rank and consider Zeppelin's debut to be overrated and undermined compared to the originality and creative genius that came out later on?
That's a very complex question, and to be honest, and I feel like this
Dylan needs another drink before he answers this.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, last night I was having half a bottle of wine watching Kiss play in Texas in 1976, and I slept funky because I indulged a bit. But anyways, I don't want to recap, and plus I need to be up early tomorrow morning if I'm going to be hitting the road up to Mike's neck of the woods. I think Led Zeppelin's debut album. Here, let me get this comment out real quick because we have a whole flux of new ones coming in. I think it was an important trendsetter of the time because keep in mind, their first record was what, January 69? So think about it. You had that album come out. Keep in mind, you also had Led Zeppelin 2 come out that same year later on. Early 70, you have Black Sabbath's debut. And then around that same time, you have Deep Purple reinventing their sound and putting out Deep Purple in rock. That is the holy trinity of hard rock and proto heavy metal. With that said, when it comes to the rest of the Zeppelin discography, I would rank it probably, and you know what? It's funny. I did a Zeppelin ranking video. It's at the lower portion because it is the most unoriginal. It's literally a blues covers album. And they would go on to really perfect their craft with, Physical Graffiti, which I think is the pinnacle of Zeppelin's, powers. Hell, Zeppelin, I can't remember what came in number one from, not number one, number two. It was either Zeppelin 2 or Zeppelin 4. I honestly don't know. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I just think, with time, the originality was really jacked up, and, it reflects in the ranking for me personally.
Okay. And even though when I did the ranking video for me and Sonny, when we were talking about Zeppelin's discography, even though this album that I'm about to mention was, I think, the last album on the ranking, it's still, compared to other albums of other bands of similar nature, this album still, I think, slaps. And people are going to think I'm nuts. But Coda. People think Coda should be under the radar. And don't get me wrong, valid reasoning behind it. But with that exact same validity, why don't we throw under the bus Tattoo You by the Ramones? Because same kind of concept. But anyway.
People do.
I hear it more with Zeppelin than Tattoo You. I think this might be the first time I'm hearing someone actually,
I don't hate on Tattoo. I'm just saying I've heard.
I've never heard anybody knock on Tattoo You the way they do Dakota. And I must say, some of Bono. We're talking about you two now. Bonzo's some of his best drumming were outtakes off of Coda. Bonzo's Maltralux. Oh.
Jason Bonham.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Did you see him?
You thought it was John? You thought it was Bonzo?
Yeah. Did you see the Celebration Day tour and get that?
Yeah. No. I got this when they opened for Cheap Trick and Foreigner years back now.
Oh, that was like
late
2000s probably. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe like 2016, I think, or somewhere around there.
Oh, I was way off. But anyway. But yeah, I think that Coda has some really good gems in there. Again, if I had to rank the entire discography, obviously it's down on the bottom. But I think that if anybody takes anything from my dissertations today, give Coda another shot. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But come on.
I'd say for diehards, Coda is definitely a necessity. For someone casually doing it, I'd say approach it last. But I will say, in terms of the backstory behind like what was included, the rendition of "I Can't Quit You, Baby" is phenomenal. The final track, "Wearing and Tearing," if Bonzo lived, that would pave the way for future Zeppelin, because In Through the Outdoor, very synth heavy, a little bit watered down, I think, in terms of Zeppelin's overall sound. If they stuck with that kind of back basics, Zeppelin 2, it's almost teeters on the edge of punk almost. And keep in mind, Zeppelin were seen as dinosaurs at that point in like 79. That would have been a perfect response, but we'll never know. Now will we?
No. Yeah. Well, honestly, you're right in regard. I never thought of Into the Outdoor that way, but you're actually that's true. The last real Zeppelin-esque album of the band's actual being, not including Coda, really is kind of Presence, isn't it?
Honestly, in terms of variety, I would say Physical, because Presence is very much that's a Page album. It's a very Page record, straightforward, lots of guitars. It's it's solid and definitely underappreciated as well, considering the productivity, because it was recorded in a mere 3 weeks, which is pretty astounding. Which album are we talking?
Which one? Physical Graffiti or Presence are we talking about?
Presence.
Okay.
Because Presence was done in like a very quick time span. I Physical Graffiti just has all the pomp and glory of a full-on bona fide variety Zeppelin album, because you have a bit of everything. You have, the Middle Eastern influences with Kashmir. You have the proggy elements of In the Light, the bluesy In My Time of Dying, and then you just have barn burners such as Houses of the Holy, Trampled Underfoot, and then you just have these other things too. It's a phenomenal record. I consider it their best work, and it's solid.
Yes, we are doing another trek starting tomorrow.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yes,
I would agree.
starting tomorrow.
And I would agree with what Monkey Sense and Sense I said. Presence is an underappreciated album. Yes, it is. Is it Zeppelin's best? No. Is it a personal favorite of mine? Up there. But yeah, that's a very underrated. I mean, everybody knows Achilles' Last Stand and nobody's fault but mine, obviously. But like T for One or Candy Shop Rock or whatever the name of that song is, great. But if you want to know a great Candy Store Rock, yes, thank you. If you want to know a good song to run a mile to in high school, which is what I did, Achilles' Last Stand is a song, man.
Hell yeah.
That's what I did because
right there.
Because in high school we ran a mile outside the track and we were allowed to have our iPods or phones in regards to music for that. And I was bumping Achilles' Last Stand, and boy, did that make me run.
Sure. Off to the races. Thomas says,
I think, Thomas, you've told me that one-on-one before in an email correspondence.
That is very true. In fact, in a lot of Donovan's work, there's some Zeppelin lineage there going on because supposedly Bonham plays on a track. John Paul Jones, Page and Jones were both session players, before Zeppelin got off the ground. So it's, it all kind of lends itself to one another. Let's see. Good luck and have fun on your trip. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. And of course, I'll mention this real quick. Just I feel like it's common knowledge to everyone that's still watching. Obviously, there is going to be a documentary about this trip. I'll be behind the camera most of the time, documenting the record shops, what we all got, the hangouts, everything. It's all going to be, and that's most definitely going to be presented in a live YouTube premiere type setting that we all can watch in real time, interact with various viewers. It's all going to be great. But
yeah, that's what we did last year, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And pretty much I'll be getting to work on that as soon as we touch ground in Jersey when Mike and I return. So labor of love.
I know Melinda's excited about it. She messaged me the other day. We were talking, and she asked if we were going to do another documentary. And I was like, you know it, Dylan is on it. Like, I told her last year I was terrible about like taking pictures and, vlogging because I was going to do my own vlog. And then at one point we just let Dylan take it all over because everybody kind of forgot to vlog and film.
Even the couple videos I did take, I just gave them to Dylan.
Right.
I love that video that I took of Mike and Third Man playing the guitar. That's one of my favorite videos that I took from that trip.
And this year I definitely need to take more pictures and videos because I feel like I was really slacking last year because I was just like so excited to be with everybody for like the first time because we'd all seen each other in these little boxes on screen. And now I'm still excited to see you guys because, we're closer now than we were a year ago. And so that's exciting. But at the same time, maybe I'll convince myself to take more pictures and videos. I don't know.
If we don't get more individual, like one-on-one, like photos, like say me and Dylan, me and Emma, me and Marie, and like just for example's sake, and then vice versa for everybody else. Like that's the one thing we really didn't do. We did it great with group photos, but like individual peeps, I think we got to do that more.
Right.
Yeah. I think I remember towards the end of the trip, I was just like, real quick, let's pose for a photo. And that was the one. And it's funny, for as much as like you and I, Mike, have hung out, we've gotten photos together. The one picture that exists from Nashville is you and me at Margaritaville.
Oh, yeah. Is that your contact
That's
photo
it.
for me?
It is. And that is all that existed.
No.
The photo of you like,
and then of course, and then one of Marikan and I, it's just like a nice, cheesing photo. And then of course
we don't need to talk about our photos, Dylan. We
Your photos, Emma.
What?
We'll let the people speculate.
Your photos.
Yeah, we'll let the people speculate. That's good.
Let them speculate, and if you can dig up dirt, we will neither approve or deny it.
What is this?
Just deny.
Wait, we're talking about dirt. This isn't a Motley Crue documentary.
Very funny.
Pages up. There's
real quick. I was gonna say.
Uh-oh.
Even though I might have the looks that kill, but
Oh,
I was going to say real quick, since we were talking about like footage that people contributed last year, one of my favorites was one that Emma took. It was at Third Man. She was going around to everyone asking how much I spent.
Yeah. That was Third Man was
Because
my
for
favorite.
those that don't know, Third Man was definitely, that was the one place that I knew was going to be the most damage. And I think it ended up being the one I did the most damage on, surprisingly, for what the other stuff I got at other stores. But, and I think we can all come to the consensus that even though we're starting at Riverbend, that's probably going to be like the one shop. I mean, we say this now, but God knows what the other stores have to offer that is going to be the most damaged. Like, we'll probably knock out of the ballpark most of what we're going to be bringing home at that shop.
See, the question is, I think that another thing that played a role, Dylan, at Third Man, though, was the flight before.
And, you know, Dylan, Billy has a fridge with beer in it.
Has a fridge there.
I'm getting one.
So you don't even have to
You already know that,
it.
Dylan and I will be running to that fridge. I don't
we
care
will make
if
a
it's
beeline
10 a.m.
right
opening.
for the fridge.
Oh, I'll be having one with y'all. I will be drinking and shopping too.
Planet Score is great as well. Yeah, I think that's one of the stores we're hitting up. I've heard great things about that. Emma, what is the CD that you just held up in the camera? It's not a CD, it's a coaster from Billy's store, Riverbend. That'd be cool if it was a CD. I think Billy has CDs out from his little solo.
Yeah, he has CDs and vinyl.
Yeah, but it's just a coaster.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, Billy has his own solo albums out on vinyl and CD.
Oh, if it's at the shop, I gotta pick that up.
I want it, honestly, and then if I get one, I'm gonna unwrap it there and have him sign it. But
I think he did have some when we went this time.
I didn't see him. Really?
I think he did in the country.
That makes sense, though, Mike. I'm gonna have to do that.
We're just gonna rate out Billy's section.
Billy, sign this.
Billy,
please.
I got Sharpies.
I always carry a Sharpie. Always carry a Sharpie. You never know.
You have to. You never know.
Oh, Pokemon, excuse me. Yes, we are doing another trip.
Starting tomorrow.
Going to St. Louis, baby.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be in that place.
My little countdown, dude. He's telling me I have 5 hours, which I know it ends at midnight, but like 5 hours, my dude.
But still.
Guys, I see you tomorrow.
Emma's going to cry.
Yes.
I'm already crying.
Literally, all right, I'm not going to try to instigate more tears, but literally 12 hours from now, I will be on the road.
You will be.
I will be. I'm leaving early.
Oh, Emma's already going now.
Aww.
I'll be on my way about
literally.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I'll wake up bright and early, fix up a cup of coffee, figure out what my playlist is going to be for the next 2.5 hours up to Mike's
Put some Rex in the comment. What should Dylan put in his playlist?
Yeah, I have a long drive.
You know I'm going to
So let me know.
The answer is literally everything by Dylan's least favorite band, and I don't know what it is. Dylan, what is your least favorite band?
Cheap Trick.
I don't know if I have a least favorite band. Cheap Trick would. You know what? Hold on. I need to get in the spirit of this trip. I can have a playlist going of Kiss, Queen, Cheap Trick, and for Mike, it could go either way. It could be Johnny Cash or Dream Theater. I'd say more Johnny Cash. And then for Jenna, I feel like it would be a cross between like Zappa or McCartney.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. It's funny. I was actually even thinking.
Space has good punk.
Oh.
That's good to know. I'm going to write that down.
Well, fun fact, I have been in the past year wanting to get some Ramones in my collection. So.
Hey,
dude,
good job, buddy.
Dude, come on. You need to get on the Ramones bandwagon.
Hey, Dylan, but remember when I put in the group chat what albums to check out? I did check out those albums. I just don't own them. But I've spun them digitally on Spotify.
Christian, he keeps teasing you down
Sonic
there.
Boom, Dylan. You need Sonic
EGC.
Boom.
What's going on? What's going on, man?
He's just gonna keep teasing you now.
Look, yes, I know I have this little copy to suffice me by, but it's not the real thing. What are you doing to me, man?
I think that you need to find the real thing and just buy it, Dylan. I think
Yeah,
that's
you
what need
just
to do.
need it.
Listen, I intend on it. If I see it on a wall, it's going to be one of those things where I don't care what the price is, I will buy it.
Shit, I don't even need to look at the wall. Like, I'm just gonna go in and no, head down.
That reminds me of the one time I was at a record store. I think I was telling you guys this in the chat some time ago, and Emma, you'll get a kick out of this, of course. There was a record store that I visited in Collingswood. It was like a record store / music shop, and they had on their wall, Brian Wilson Presents Smile. And literally, I just made a beeline for it. $50 later, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I just told you my story earlier today about the $75 one.
Yes.
At, Reckless Records in Chicago. It was a couple years ago, and it was on the wall, and it was literally the guy had just put it there. Brian Wilson Presents Smile, and I let it go for $75. Doesn't beat the $50, but it's better than what it's going for now. So I kick myself, but
Hundreds. It's crazy.
yeah.
Maybe you'll find it, Emma.
Never know. That would if I
Never know.
saw that and it was less than like $150, I'd probably pull a trigger.
If
doubt.
Emma sees any copy of Smile, she's just gonna buy it for me because she's salty the fact that I haven't even heard the release.
I mean, nothing, right? You haven't heard Smile or Smile Sessions?
Nope.
Oh, dude.
Well, maybe tomorrow we'll
say-
listen to Smile Sessions here.
This is why Mike gets canceled all the
Yes.
time in our group chat.
Yes.
But then I'll be crying the whole time as we're listening. So
We could all slow
Once we get to
dance.
Surf's Up, I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
yeah,
It's over. I will say one of the great things about for all the viewers out there, because they give me a nick in the chat. They call me the enabler because I can easily enable people to buy shit. One of my favorite things to do, and I did this quite often last year in Nashville, was seek out things that I knew that like someone in the group would be interested in, just grabbing it and putting it in their hands. And 9 times out of 10, they would buy it.
you put in a $150 box set in my hand and I bought it.
Because you needed it.
Yeah, because you wanted it.
Ann Arbor Blues Festival box set, Third Man Records. Amazing.
I mean, I also helped Dylan at Third Man. I feel like if he didn't have his personal shopper, he probably wouldn't have went so ham. But
Well, this also
had
plays
to-
in with the flight.
had to-
This plays in with the
Right.
flight that Emma had mentioned because we were a little
Right.
wired before. And literally when there it is. Hold on, I got to get my copy now.
Paulina, I will eventually hear the Smile Sessions, I promise.
Yeah, Dylan, we don't need to see your vinyl of this one. I get it.
Emma gets it. She's
It's on the
shy.
other
I get
side
it.
of my room. I don't need
This is what I
to
have.
go and get it.
Although, you know what? This came with, not this one. What came with, ignore me. Keep talking.
I was gonna say, with what Marika was saying about my personal shopper, going to have the flight beforehand was solid because it was already, there's the little CD version. Literally like everything that Marikan showed me, I was just like, okay, all right, I'll take that. Okay, I'll take that. Didn't have to think about it.
Dylan was feeling himself at Third Man. That's all we're going to say.
Yeah.
I felt the power of the enabler at Third Man, and it felt so nice to have the upper hand on Dylan. Because normally Dylan's like,
also
"Marika,
because
do you need? I have. Do you want?" And now I'm like, Dylan, you need.
Hey, Dylan. You know the
I
one
have,
thing.
do you want it?
Right.
Dylan, you know the one thing at Third Man that outside of Electric Mud that I didn't get that I probably should have when I was there? The new remix of Seven Nation Army that had recently come out at that time.
Oh, I picked that up there. I still have
Yes.
Did everybody get? Mike, did you pick up that Wallows live at Third Man?
No, I didn't get
Oh
it.
man, you can't get that anymore. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Is that so?
Yeah,
Because I
don't
remember
think
when we
it's
went back
available
to
anymore.
round 2,
Huh?
Marican got the colored press they had there.
Mhm.
And then when
That's
we
crazy.
went back to Kentucky, she had given me her black vinyl copy.
And I've also gotten Emma into Wallows, which I feel
Oh, so
very
good.
happy.
I still need their new album. I haven't picked it up yet. I still need that.
I do not love their new album.
Well,
Me and Marican
well,
have
we-
already talked about
we
this.
ha-
However, I want their spring EP. I want their spring EP in my collection.
You definitely need their spring EP.
Very good. Actually, the Record Store Days, the singles compilation
Yeah.
or whatever, that was really
Absolutely
good.
phenomenal.
That was solid. Yeah.
I wanted
I
that,
still
but that
have
was
some
one that
copies
I
of that at the
annexed.
shop.
Had you ever heard Pleaser or Suntan like digitally before it was released onto that singles collection? I know Dylan got it too. Either of you? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know how much you
I've
really
heard
look
it.
into
Didn't
them.
they do that? Was on Third Man, but the live versions, right?
Right. The Pleaser was on Third Man live, and it's like the only time it's ever been released. So Pleaser
Yeah.
and Suntan were their first 2 singles, and
Yeah,
they're not
very,
on
very good.
vinyl at all until this singles collection. They're 2 of my favorites, literally the best.
Mhm.
And
Here's
yes,
a comment that we can all resound with.
Emma, you need the
Yeah.
box set. I mean,
I do need
out of
the
4 of us
Queen
here
box
own it.
set.
Emma's the only
Although,
one here who
Marican,
doesn't.
to be fair, you have single-handedly basically built my Queen collection between Night
And
of
I'm
the
never gonna
Opera,
stop.
between jazz, between I get the debut album.
It's never gonna stop.
Yeah.
Greatest hits. We did that
Oh,
too.
the greatest hits, the Walmart
Yeah.
exclusive.
Sheer
with
Heart
the
Attack.
players.
You gotta have Sheer
How
Heart
could I
Attack.
forget Sheer Heart Attack? Marican's
Come
favorite
on.
album of all time.
Like the best album ever.
It's funny. Recently, I was able to get some copies in of that, and we sold out of them so quick.
Yeah.
Because it's so amazing. Hello.
Because, well, and also to be fair, I mean, we very seldomly come across Queen records at my shop, just
Right.
because
That's true.
ever since the movie, everyone wants them.
Dylan, speaking
goes
of
with Sparks
movies,
record.
I'm curious from a record store employee standpoint, how much Elvis have you sold since the new Elvis has come out?
Relatively good amount, both in,
Yeah.
I would say mainly in terms of online. In store, I mean, we are jacked on Elvis. Like, we have a
Yeah.
very wide selection.
He does. Marican, you would love
People
his
always
Elvis.
tend to inquire about it. I think to be quite honest with you, I don't know if it's something to do with demographic or just general interest. For us, it's been Metallica, Master of Puppets, just
Yeah,
every day.
Stranger Things.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Kate, and it's funny when the Stranger Things, when Stranger Things was starting to really pick up, we had issues of Hounds of Lovin', the album that Running Up That Hill appears on, and just sold out immediately. Never could get it back since. It's a shame.
Yeah, Marican, I could confirm that if you go to Dylan's shop, you would raid the crap out of that Elvis section. It is probably one of the best Elvis sections in the state of New Jersey.
When are we going to Jersey? What year is that?
I mean,
2026.
Wasn't there talk of like a spring break trip at one point?
what's going on with that digital distortion?
There we go. We figured it out.
Uh-oh.
It was part of Brian Wilson's smile. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. I mean, Marican, you could just come up for a weekend.
Right. I need to.
Lisa says that she needs to see Wallows live. She got the new Wallows Record Store album, and she's not a big Elvis fan.
I respect that. Elvis isn't for everybody. I have his entire collection box set that made Marican cry when she saw that I had it. That's one thing that, Marican, when you come to my neck of the woods, you will get to hold it in person. I'll let you touch it. But
You know, Elvis is the main reason I love music as much as I do.
I know.
I wouldn't say I love him like as much today as I did when I first got into music, but he definitely holds a really special place in my heart. So
I know that both myself and Emma have seen the new Elvis movie. Marican, have you seen it?
No. And honestly, like, I know this is going to sound really weird because I do like Elvis. I have no interest in seeing it.
Why is that?
It just does not look like something that I think is authentic. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would portray him or his life like it should. I don't know. I don't get a good feeling about it. I don't know. I don't like Austin Butler. Like I get the ick from Austin Butler, the guy that plays Elvis. So like that could be a lot of it. But like I also just think it just seems way too much.
I mean, I can tell you this: they don't put his life in a positive light. I can tell you that, but
Well, he didn't really have a.
no, he didn't. But
No, yeah, and see that's what I was like afraid is that like they would make him seem, more happy and positive than what actually.
no,
not.
they did not.
They
not
did
at
not.
all.
Yeah, they did not do that.
No. Let's put it this way: the movie ended at the movie theater, and Ashley, who's my girlfriend for this, you don't know, had to like literally be like, "Are you getting up?" Like the credits were rolling. She was just like, "You okay? Are you crying?" And I was like, "Internally." But,
I thought it was a really good movie. I know Elvis. I know a little bit about his history. I felt like I learned a lot. I don't know how accurate all that was in terms of, the Elvis fanatics out there. But I enjoyed the movie. Surprising. I didn't really know much about Austin Butler going in. I thought that he did a fine job. The only character that I had trouble with was Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker. And that's solely because I kept seeing Tom Hanks. And that's the point. At this point with Tom Hanks, it's like any role that he plays, you're going to see Tom Hanks. But I struggled with that a little bit. Not that he didn't do a good job. It was just a personal thing. But I thought the movie was good. It's a little overrated, but it's good.
Well, it's the thing with Tom Hanks. You expect something like The Money Pit, not Colonel,
Yeah. And most of the movie is really about Colonel Tom Parker more so than it is Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you saw what Thomas put in the chat, but there's a golden earring 50th anniversary box set that Emma apparently needs.
Ooh.
So I guess Thomas might be.
Golden earring.
Thomas has some things up his sleeve here.
Oh yeah, that's pretty. I did golden earring.
Emma, you're the one who sent me Moontan.
Moontan, yeah, Moontan's so good.
Emma, you sent me that for my birthday, my first birthday that you and I were friends.
Oh yeah.
You sent me that and Foreigner Catch the Game or something like that and a Lone Star guitar pick.
Oh, yeah.
I think there might have been one other record in there, but I'm drawing a blank. You had some sort of Cheap Trick record in there too, but I don't remember which one.
I probably threw that in. That sounds about right.
I can't remember if it was at Budokan or their debut, but...
Yeah. Feels like it will be a fantasy retelling of his history.
Kind of, but I wouldn't consider. Yes and no. I wouldn't consider this a good fantasy. That's for sure.
Yeah,
that's a good way to put like my feelings toward it. Like I thought it would just be,
Yeah, but to be fair,
it's worth seeing.
But to be fair, the fantasy stuff happens in Bohemian Rhapsody. It happens in Rocket Man. It happens in them all. So you can't really knock yourself.
Right.
I mean, talk about historical.
Don't get me started on Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, I mean, let's talk about the historical inaccuracies. Why are certain songs being played when you're talking about a year that happened when that song came out in a year later?
Right.
Yeah.
That was my biggest argument because I'm watching them on like their first U.S. tour. It's 74, and yet they're playing Fat Bottom Girls from 78. Sorry.
Right.
Literally. And why'd they make? I mean, I know Freddie had his issues, but like, why'd they make him out to be such a dick? I don't think he was that much of a dick, was he?
They did.
Or can you do
Not that I've like ever been aware of. I mean, I know that like, the band had issues within itself. And I feel like that's every band, you get into arguments and things like that. So I don't think that, that he was perfect, but I don't think he was ever like the dick that they made him out to be in the movie, at least to like what I've seen and like the stories I've heard.
And that kind of hurt a little bit because Brian was involved in the making of that film too.
Yeah, Brian and Roger were both really heavily involved.
Yeah. Paulina says the only two biopics that was not like fantasy are La Bamba and Love and Mercy, which is why I hold those two at the highest regard. Both are fantastic movies. Love and Mercy as a huge just Brian Wilson person and Beach Boys, but I that's a great movie.
Which one is La Bamba about?
Richie.
Oh, Richie Valens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Mhm.
right. Okay. I was drawing a blank.
Yeah, old school classic.
Love and Mercy takes the gold, I think.
Yeah, Love and Mercy is fantastic.
That
Who
was
Who's
phenomenal.
the actor that played young Brian? Whatever that guy's name
Paul
was,
Dano.
yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Hey, at least the Elvis Christmas
was
is
great.
great.
Yeah.
But my question is, which of the two Elvis Christmas ones? The one that everybody like talks about, the one with the red album cover, Here Comes Santa Claus from Town, and all that, or the ones from the '70s, The Wonderful World of Elvis? I'm curious. Oh, Remy was fantastic as Freddie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would say despite how Freddie was portrayed, Rami did a phenomenal job.
Buddy Holly's story with Gary Busey was great.
I mean, I know the album Buddy Holly story. My grandfather had that, but I don't know.
I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen that. I feel like that'd be
Gary's an interesting
Love and Mercy.
choice.
I was going to say, guys, for anyone that's still watching, if you guys have any last-minute wrap-up questions for us, please ask away.
Yeah.
Dinner is awaiting.
Dylan's hungry.
And if you look over here, you see a wild Jerseyan who's really hungry.
There's a New Jerseyan pumping gas. That was the ongoing joke from last year because we New Jerseyans have the great privilege of sitting in our cars as tenants pump our gas.
You guys
So
are
then
lazy.
once we venture out,
I wouldn't.
so
It's
once we got
lazy.
to Virginia and
Just
Tennessee,
take the
we're like,
pump and put it
we were
in.
like, meanwhile,
Now-
I literally just say, fill it up regular cash or 20 regular cash, and I can just scroll on my phone as someone,
Yeah.
Honestly,
Hey,
Dylan,
Matthew.
assists me.
Oh yeah, the Johnny Cash. Mike, what did you think about that one? The Johnny Cash with Joaquin.
Joaquin and Reese Witherspoon, freaking phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
They
So
did a
good.
very good job. Again, there's some historical inaccuracies in it, but that's how
Right.
Yeah.
But it's great. But Dylan, going back to the gas thing, I do not think that it's necessarily a gift or a curse that we don't pump our own gas, because then we have to sit there with our thumb up our ass if they're just jerking off in the corner doing nothing for 20 minutes while you want to pump your gas. I've literally
Disappeared entirely.
I literally will wait for like 5 minutes, and then if they're not done, I'm pumping my own damn gas.
You guys still won't have to
You'll
do it on the
just get
trip.
up.
Jared will be pumping all the gas.
True. I'll help them.
That is true.
Get out there.
Unless
Show
we
them
just
how
wanna-
the Jersey boys do it.
Is Emma's drink spiked? In fact, it
Yes.
is.
It is. It's always
Mazzy, just
Mazzy.
remember that I've caught so many of these things, and remember that you've caught 0.
oh, fighting words. Emma.
Oh boy, Mazzy, it's been a hot minute. I
Real
hope you've
quick,
been
just
well,
as
good
a-
sir.
Just as a last minute plug, just because I always got to rep the hustle. Coincidental, I was telling the group this because in following what I do outside of YouTube, I've been writing these articles about this Kiss footage that has been coming out on YouTube. Very complex backstory. You'll have to read the articles to find out. But one of the bits of footage that dropped recently, and the article just published about a half hour ago, is, hopefully you can see that, unseen 8mm Kiss footage from the KSHE Kitefly 74 and Passaic 75 drops. The Kitefly Festival was held in St. Louis, and it's always held in St. Louis. So coincidental that this dropped, and I'm like, oh, I'm going there. So give it a read. I'll be posting about it later on.
Nice.
Let's see. Yes, Dylan, that was hilarious about catching a New Jersey and pumping his own gas. Hell yeah, it was. If anything, we'll have to let's see. Mazzy.
Wow, Emma. Mazzy's just
label show.
clapping
Brian May
here.
sat right in front of me. That's a cool story.
Ooh, Mazzy's speaking to Marika and me right now.
I didn't even say anything. You were the one with the
Keep
fighting
track with
words.
Brian sat right in front of Mazzy. Marika, how do you
Listen,
feel
if
about
I
that
ever met Brian
situation?
fucking May, I would lose my shit. Like, I wouldn't even be a person. I'd be a
Mazzy,
pedal on
was
tour.
was Brian's hair in the
Shut up,
way?
no.
Could you see over his hair? That's the
No.
biggest. I mean, did the picks land there? Why aren't you catching picks? That's the real question of the day.
I mean, I think nowadays, if you shine a light behind Brian, it's just a halo. That's all it is.
True, the hair is so thin at this point, but Marie,
It's white.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was right. So,
Marican, don't worry. I have Marican, I have connections with the zombies. Who's to say the zombies don't have connections to Brian May?
If I ever meet Brian May, I'm dying. Just be fully aware I'm dying happy.
Oh
Marican, have you seen Queen
live? No.
Yeah, with Adam Lambert.
No, unfortunately, my parents are not huge fans of Queen. So growing up, I was never able to see them in concert. And then right before COVID hit, I was actually going to try and go see them in Nashville at Bridgestone, but the show was sold out and like the resale tickets were $500 a pop, and I wasn't going to do that. And then we've been in COVID times. So
yes.
Yeah. I guess I just like all this music that my parents hate. So, you know,
both my parents saw Queen,
and I really hate your parents for that.
Yeah, Dylan, how many bands have
rub it in?
Seen?
Just rub it in.
Huh?
Have they seen Cheap Trick? I know Kiss, Rush. What else? Queen.
Cheap Trick, maybe. I'll have to clarify Cheap Trick, but I know that my mother's first show was Queen on the Jazz Tour. My dad saw News of the World.
Brandon keeps naming off Walmart exclusives. He went Bob Marley, then he went, what else did he do? Elvis CDs. Now he's on Kiss Love Gun.
Dylan has Kiss Love Gun.
Dylan has how many Kiss Love Guns do you have, Dylan?
That might be a little inappropriate.
Right now, it's going to be 4 come summertime because there's the gold vinyl that dropped on their website. But
and then you're going to buy a few copies in St. Louis, right?
Listen, if I find them, I'll snag them.
Hey, Dylan. Yeah. But Dylan, don't forget the copy you're going to be buying from me and that Kiss lot I'm selling you at some point.
That is true. That is true. Listen, when it comes to your favorite Kiss record, there's no such thing as having too many copies, whether it's multiples.
And Dylan, the ones you're going to be getting are all early to original pressings.
Thank you.
And I'd have to say that bulk price I gave you is a pretty fair price.
Let's not mention the price live. This is confidential information.
I'm not mentioning the price, but I think for what you're getting, I think that you're getting a pretty sweet deal there.
There's some good karma coming our way because Riverbend Records liked my post about the live stream, so we're off to the races right now.
Pretty soon, the young VC won't be young anymore. Mazzy's my favorite.
Damn.
Pretty soon.
Damn. Well, he's right.
Oh.
Here's the thing. We got to keep this moniker going for. We got to keep it going for as long as we can because once we hit, a roaring 30s, to rechristen it.
I mean, I'm not close to that yet.
We'll have to come up with some different label.
All right, Marican. Well, not everybody cannot be turning 25 in a month like me, okay?
I'll be 23 next month.
25 in like 5 days.
A couple days.
Guys, how do you think Jared feels?
I'll be like 25 in 2 months.
I was working in a record store once.
Yes, you were, Massey. I remember you sharing that story.
Hell yeah.
Good shit.
I'm 24 and doing that right now. It's too sweet.
Yeah, Dylan, rubbing in.
I wonder why some bands make
Happy birthday to you all. Thank you, Mazzy.
We appreciate Mazzy.
And it's funny how all of our birthdays are kind of grouped together.
A little bit.
They are,
like,
yeah.
Jen is the only one that's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that's off to like the. Yeah. Oh man. Well, guys, this was fun. Now, question for everyone that's still watching, the 20 people that are here. Would you want to see us do this again sometime?
Perhaps. Wait, Dylan, are we done?
perhaps at a different date.
Emma,
Are we
I
done?
can keep going all night. What are you guys talking about?
I need to eat eventually.
All right.
I was gonna say, I think there's a steak waiting for me actually.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And now Emma is drooling.
But question: so we said so. So she would like to see us do more live streams. Elegant Eggnog, T.S. Foley. Sure, this is awesome. Happy birthday to all. So I guess we were going to be
bring some
streaming at bring on some fans in the mix. Yeah, that's a cool idea. Happy birthday to the youngest members of the V. It's everyone's birthday.
It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to.
Oh my god!
Fun fact: I have that album.
Keep it going and build on it. You should. Hell yeah!
All right.
Intelligent music conversation. Ooh, very good.
Thank you, CGC.
It's nice. It's nice doing live streams and seeing live streams out there that actually have to do with music.
Right.
In the VC.
Yeah, that's right.
That's crazy.
Wow, what a concept.
Emphasis in the VC.
Wow.
Emphasis.
Yes, Thomas, and I have that Leslie Gore album from my grandfather's collection.
Good idea. Awesome. So
all right.
I think
tomorrow we see you guys. Someone's screen is
by right now, at this moment, 12 hours from now, I should be exiting Route 55, going into 42, then taking the 295 exit, heading up north. So let's go.
And in 24 hours from now, we will all be in each other's company at Emma's house, embracing each other in a kumbaya style.
Kumbaya.
And listening to the smile sessions. I love how Emma just has a Cheap Trick album. Here, hold on. Let me grab some.
I always have it readily available. You never know when you're gonna need one of these. It's like, I don't know, these guys can back me up on this, but I carry around Rick Nielsen picks wherever I go, and if there's someone that just catches my eye, or I think, where was it? Some restaurant. Oh no, it was the brewery we went to in Nashville. Just random people I just like telling the story and giving picks to. So that's just kind of my thing.
I mean, Emma, you're the reason I appreciate Cheap Trick's debut album as much as I do. So,
Dylan, please be careful and get some regular trips to Mike's. To be honest, I'm going to try to, but I probably won't sleep, in all honesty, because I'm just going to be so excited. I'm already running. I'm already running on 4 to 5 hours sleep today, and I'm holding up okay. So I think I'll be all right. But coffee does the trick for medicine. I will be all right, Thomas. I promise you.
Well, Dylan, when you get to my house, I'll have a warm brew of coffee next to Kisses of Love Gun all ready for you.
Oh, you are a lifesaver. And Emma, just so you know, I will be cuddling your copy of Love Gun if I'm calling dibs in the music room.
Yeah. This is where Dylan's gonna sleep right here. This is my
that looks comfortable already.
Hey, I can push the futon back and it makes a bed, and I will have Love Gun sitting right there for you when you show up.
Just have it right next to me. Give it a nice little warm cuddle.
Little cuddle. That's why he always pops up wherever I go.
Dylan will hope that Christine 16 shows up. No, I'm totally kidding.
That song has not aged well whatsoever. But anyways.
No.
So guys, we will be with each other in 24 hours.
Hey, let us know too, for anybody else that's still watching. I don't know if anyone else is tuned in, but if you would like, maybe, no promises, to see an impromptu stream with everybody together, let us know.
Message us privately on Instagram.
Yes. Message us, leave comments on our respective Instagram and Facebooks, the YouTube community page. Please let us know. And this is addition to the documentary. This is not
even if one person wants to see it, we'll do it, but
we will do it specially for them.
Yeah.
Before you go, what do you think of all the recent
for that person?
One last question we'll do. Before you go, what do you think of all the recent cassette tape resurgence? I think it works well for a DIY underground indie type of audience. And I think in some cases it's seen as a cool collectible type thing just to have. I mean, one of my favorite modern bands is Blackwater. I have their second album on cassette just because it's there and I love it so much. But I don't know, it's not for everybody. Like, you don't see me going after getting a tape deck, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's something that's been around since probably maybe 2016, 2018-ish. I started seeing it. It really gained popularity around the time the first Guardians and the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies came out, because that soundtrack came out on cassette. Then, of course, there's a cassette connection with the album cover as well as in the film. It's definitely kind of odd, the modern cassette world. I mean, I'm not knocking it at all. I bought Bjork's one of Bjork's albums on modern cassette because she reissued her entire discography a year or so back on it. I believe I bought her album Biophilia, if I'm remembering correctly. And I was really curious of what a modern cassette tape would sound like, because that is a very bass-driven album. I was disappointed. I have better sounding cassettes from the 70s, honestly. So it's if it's your thing, awesome. But I'll stick to the older cassettes or not much in the way of the modern cassette. What's nice about the cassettes, though, is that unlike a CD, vinyl record, or any other physical format, you can fit it in your pocket easily, you know, and have like a Walkman or the modern equivalent. But that's the only thing. Portability is the only thing that's really going for it. But honestly, most people have a smartphone nowadays, so you're kind of playing with apples and oranges here, because even though cassettes do not sound as bad, in my personal opinion, compared to what most people say they do, if they're taken care of and they're preserved, they sound great. If they're treated like crap and they're in an attic for 30 years and then you try to play them, the felt's going to be brittle, it's going to be destroyed, and your cassette's going to be warped and destroyed, you know, which is unfortunately the case for a lot of them. But I have some very good cassettes that sound actually just as good as the vinyl counterpart. So it's kind of a hit or miss, but in today's day where the smartphone is just as portable as a cassette, it's kind of just a cool factor having a cassette, honestly.
All right.
Hear ya.
Well, for anybody else still
see
on,
you all.
we appreciate you. This was I
Yes,
honestly
thank
had
you.
a lot of fun.
Me too. I wasn't sure how I felt about live stream.
Yeah, this was a
I'd
blast.
like it better if I wasn't dog-ass tired.
I'm feeling
we
great.
can promise all of you watching.
Emma wants to go all night, so
I would. I'm not doing it.
So guys, just so you guys know, there's going to be a live stream on 8 Vinyl Low in about 2 minutes.
We can promise you all that this is not the last that you've seen of us in a live stream setting.
1977.
What'd you say, Dylan?
I was going to say, this is not the last that you see of us in a live stream setting. There's plenty more to come, both on the trip and outside the trip.
True. Yes. And with that,
Dylan's got to go eat a steak.
Yeah,
I
my
got a steak
laptop's
waiting for me.
All right. We love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much for tuning in.
Bye.
As always, keep the record spinning.
Keep it spinning.
Bye, guys.